Good morning, everyone. How are all of you today? I hope you all are doing fine. I'm missing all of you guys. Now, anyway, let's get back to our classes. Today, we will be doing the story of Flying Robert, okay? Now, before I start the story, let me ask you some questions. Has your parents, or have your parents ever told you to follow a rule? I am sure they do, right? Our parents always tell us not to talk to strangers, or it could be not to play with sharp instruments, it could be not to play with a knife, right? So our parents keep on telling us, to follow rules, and we sometimes disobey them. So today, this poem is all about that. So let's get started, okay? Now, the story of Flying Robert, if you look here, it's about a little boy. I'll be reading the poem line by line and I'll be explaining to you what it means, okay? So you can take out your content book or you can just listen or look at the slides, okay? So when the rain comes tumbling down in the country or the town, all good little girls and boys stay at home and mind their toys. So over here, the poet, he introduces the poem, or he begins the poem by telling us that it starts raining, and in countries and in towns, the little boys and girls who are really good, they're extremely good, they sit inside their house, and they play with their toys. Then he comes and he says, he introduces the first character over here, that is Robert, Robert is the only character over here, he's a little boy and he's a little bit naughty. So Robert thought, no, when it pours, it is better out of doors. Rain it did, and in a minute, Bob was in it. So you see, Robert did not listen or did not obey the rules, As soon as it started raining, he was the first one to go out in the rain. So let's see what happens to him. Here you see him, silly fellow, underneath his red umbrella. So if you look at the picture, over here, you can see him with his red umbrella. It's very windy and he is outside. Now let's continue. What a wind! Oh, how it whistles through the trees and flowers and thistles. It has caught his red umbrella. Now look at him, silly fellow, up he flies to the skies. So you can see, in the pictures, how the wind is very, very strong. It's a terribly strong wind, You can call it a gale. And, it's blowing away all the trees, And I told you before, he has a red umbrella, So the wind catches his red umbrella, And it takes him away, or it blows him away. You can imagine, you have seen movies where the wind carries the parachutes away. So you can just imagine that, in the same type, the wind has taken this boy's umbrella, and it has blown him away, up in the skies. You can see that in the picture. It is given very clearly over here in the picture, Then we come to know, in the next stanza, no one hears his screams and cries. Through the clouds the rude wind bore him, and his hat flew on before him. Soon they got to such a height, they were nearly out of sight. So nobody heard him screaming and crying. Most probably it was raining heavily. The storm was very, very strong, so nobody heard him. And I'm sure if the same thing happened to you, you would also be screaming for your parents. So little Robert, or you can call him, his pet name is Bob over here. He starts screaming for his parents, but nobody hears him. The wind over here takes him right up to the sky. Then finally you see that he has reached very, very high above. Then we see the next lines, and the hat went up so high, so his hat flies away, that it nearly touched the sky. No one ever yet could tell where they stopped or where they fell. So no one saw him flying away, and nobody, could tell where he fell, or where his hat fell. But this one thing is plain: Bob was never seen again. So we come to know, okay, that Bob was never seen again. So this is your poem about the story of Flying Robert. It's a little funny, and I'm sure all of you must be laughing away over there. Now, let's look at this slide, okay? We all know that the genre of the genre of this is poetry, okay? It's not fiction, it's poetry. And the character's name is Robert, okay? But you can also call him Bob. And he had just one rule to follow, okay? And the rule was that he must not go out and play in the rain. But he disobeyed, like most of us. I'm sure you also go out playing in the rain, right? Yes, my kids also like to do it. Now, what did the character do? Okay, so Robert went out while it was raining. Okay, he was carrying a red umbrella. Okay, now what happened to the character? A terrible and a strong wind caught his red umbrella. Okay, it blew him into the sky, and it blew away his hat, and it took him higher into the sky, and finally both the hat and Robert disappeared. Nobody ever saw them again. Okay, they were never ever seen again. So be careful the next time when you go out to play in the rain. Be careful. You don't want to be like him, right? Now, the poem, okay, or the poet tells us about a poetic device over here, which is known as exaggerating, okay? Now, what is exaggerating? Okay, what is exaggerating? So over here, okay, exaggerating is a figure of speech. Okay, in poetry we have lots of figures of speech like irony, okay, metaphors. You have your rhyme scheme, which we have been learning in class 4. Okay, we did rhyme scheme, if you remember. I'll be talking about it later. Okay, so over here we have exaggeration, okay, as a figure of speech. Okay, and what does this mean? So this means, okay, that we take, okay, this something and we make it like bigger than what it actually is. We exaggerate on it, okay? So we make it bigger than what it actually is. A simple thing or a simple thought or a simple activity, we start making it bigger, okay? So for example, I was walking along when suddenly this enormous dog walked along. So over here I have exaggerated, okay, dog. I've made it look very, very big and very scary, okay? So that is known as your exaggerating, okay? Another example I have for you over here is, for example, let's see. I told you to clean your house 1,000,000 times. I'm sure your parents tell you this, right? I told you to clean your room 1,000,000 times. Now, can your parent actually tell you that 1,000,000 times? No, right? So over here, 1,000,000 times is exaggerated, means I'm putting more emphasis and I'm putting, okay, more stress on it, and I'm exaggerating it, okay? Or another one I could give you is, I'm so hungry that I can eat a horse, right? We say that when we're very hungry. I'm so hungry. So over here, I'm so hungry that I could eat a horse. Again, I'm exaggerating, because even if you're hungry, can you eat a horse? I don't think so. Then, if I can't get a smartphone, I will die. Now, this is something that I'm sure you all do, right? You bully your parents. If I can't get a smartphone, or if you don't buy me this, or if you don't buy me that, I'm going to die. Okay, or I won't eat food. But do you actually do it? No, right? So this is known as your exaggerating. It means that you are describing something, okay, and making it more, okay, big or more scary than it really is, okay? Now, why does the poet use exaggerating? Okay, what is the use of it in poetry? So, okay, we use exaggerating, okay, in speaking and writing to show strong feelings or to express humor. Okay, so over here, the poet wants us to know that it is dangerous to play in the rain. Remember, okay, this poem is quite old, okay, it was written nearly 100 years old. So most probably that time people did not want the children to play in the rain, and so the poet has written this poem, okay, because he wants to express a strong feeling, means he wants to tell all the little boys and the little girls that it is dangerous to play in the rain, and it is dangerous to play when the winds are very, very strong, right? Even in our areas, okay, if you actually see strong winds, do your parents allow you to go out? I don't think so, right? They won't allow you because something may hit you. So in the same way, okay, over here, the poet just wants to tell little children, okay, that it is dangerous to go out and play when it is raining heavily or when it is very windy. And so he has written this poem, okay. And the second one is to express humor. He wants to make it funny, okay. He wants us to laugh. He wants us to enjoy poetry, okay. And the next thing is, it also gives us an elaborated picture about the scene or the incident to the reader. Now, this poem, okay, when we read it, we get a very clear picture in our mind about what is happening to Robert, okay. So when you use exaggerating, okay, or when you use exaggeration, over here you get a very clean, elaborated picture, means a very big picture, okay. And okay, you can say the incident, because when Robert disappears, that is also an incident, okay. So you get a very clear picture of the incident that happened to Robert, okay. And it's also funny, as I told you, okay. When you read the poem and it's funny, we kind of get attracted to it, or we kind of become more interested to it, okay. So over here, these are the reasons why exaggerating, okay, or why exaggeration is used, okay, by authors and also by poets, okay. So let me take you over here, okay. Now if you look at the poem, okay, in your textbook, I want you to look at the last word in every line, okay. The last word in every line. For example, over here it is down, and we have town. We've got boys and toys. Again, pores and doors, okay. So this is your, yes, you're right, it's your rhyming words. I've taught you it last year, okay. So I want you to underline all the rhyming words, and I want you to find out the rhyme scheme of the poem, okay. Remember, I taught you A, B, C, D. So over here you have, if the rhyming words are same, you will write A, and then B, B, okay. So like that you will continue for the entire poem, okay. And find out the rhyming words, find out the rhyme scheme. I taught you last year. In case you still do not understand what is rhyme scheme or what are rhyming words, you can always inform me, and I'll try to give you another video about rhyming words and rhyme scheme, okay. Now there is one more poetic device here, okay, which I want to talk about. If you see over here, through the clouds the rude wind bore him, okay. Now we all know that wind is a non-living thing, okay, but over here the poet has given it, okay, the quality of being rude. Now only humans can be rude, right? So remember, when the poet gives a non-living thing a human quality, okay, like over here it is rudeness, okay, this is known as your personification, okay. This is something for you to remember. This is known as your personification. So over here the wind is personified, okay, it is being rude. So rude wind over here is your personification. So I will be discussing personification again, like in the later blocks. So you don't need to worry about it. It's just something I want you to know from now. So I'm telling you it. Okay. So this is about the story about your flying robot. Don't forget to underline all the rhyming words. Okay. So that's all for today. If you have any doubts, you can always message me. And okay, happy learning. Bye bye.